Hello everyone, welcome. First of all, I want to just really open my heart to you all. There is so much going on around the world, so much negativity and things unfolding and false things happening and things happening that it's really time for us to connect and by opening our hearts and really sending out that love vibe. So I send out that love vibe to you all. I want to thank you for subscribing to my channel. I want to thank you for being here. I want to thank you for commenting because I love reading your comments. And I thank you for being you. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. So what I want to talk about today, I've written a few notes here. So I want to actually talk about what's going on around the planet right now. Now, I'm going to start, I don't normally go into the negative stuff or even say things that might frighten some people, because I'm well aware that some people get major anxiety and major stress about things that are unfolding around the world. But I felt like it's time for me to actually say what I'm picking up, what I feel. And it's important now for me to do that. So please don't take this the wrong way. I'm also going to say towards the end or the middle or wherever it comes out, because I don't quite know how it's going to unfold yet, all about how you can raise yourself up above what's going on. So, first of all, this is it. I'm straightforward when I talk about things like this. I don't beat around the bush. And what is actually happening is there is a huge spiritual war going on. It's not just in this dimension. It goes through many, many dimensions, through time and space. There is a huge spiritual war going on. And I do want to emphasize that the light is winning. And what we're seeing unfolding here in the 3D world, which is our dimension, if you like, is lots of things being planted, things taking place to cause separation, fear, and all those negative emotions. And those negative emotions feed the darker side. So it's the dark side that's creating all this stuff, this separation and everything else that's going on to separate us, to cause that fear. Because what happens when we're in fear? Our vibration goes right down. They can feed off our energy. There's many, many different beings. It's not just humans. There really is a spiritual war going on. The dark side and the light side. I do want to say the light is winning. And this is why we're seeing so much now unfold into the 3D world, because the dark side is pushing everything they possibly can now to disrupt things. So the Cabal, let's talk about the Cabal. The Cabal are the dark side. Now, there are spiritual beings in the Cabal, Satanists, if you like, Satan, darker, lower energies. I call them, because I remove a lot of these off of a lot of people, negative interdimensional beings. I have seen and witnessed like black serpent type things that have got into someone and wrapped around their heart area to really disrupt their whole system, because if our hearts are closed, then we're going to stay in that lower vibration. It also will interact in a negative way with the the nervous system. That's what I was trying to think of. Which of course is going to disrupt everything about you, your emotions, your stress levels, your anxiety and everything else. I don't know whether many people know this, but some of these negative interdimensional beings can actually get at you through the internet. A lot of people don't know that. They will come in any direction they can, but they will only come in and get to you if your frequency is low, if you've gone into fear, if you're suffering from stress or anxiety, which is all to do with fear emotions. I have also removed off of people what I call earthbound. They are negative beings. They are, I call them ETs, which means extraterrestrial, but maybe I should say interdimensional beings. There are many, many different forms of them. Like I have removed reptilians off of people. I've removed other beings. It's got to the point now I don't even go into what they look like. I just send them on their way to a place, actually, because I do it all with compassion and love, to a place where they will receive healing and love and compassion. So it's not that I send them back to where they came from. I actually open up the channels where they will go to receive healing, because what's our job here as light workers? To transmute that dark energy into light. Other beings that I have come across are like negative earth creatures. Now, I can't say that they're like humanoid, because they're not. They are creatures in energy form. So they're black. They're I definitely know they're from the dark side, because they're messing with people's energy systems, and they hide. They're very crafty. They can hide easily, but they've come from a darker place within the earth. You've got to remember that the light and the dark, there's polarities in everything and everybody, light and dark. Now, us light workers that have really opened our hearts and have really stepped into our own sovereignty, have managed to transmute a lot of the darkness that perhaps we held from past lives and through time and space, through other dimensions even, that we may have held in ourselves, and we've managed to transmute it, release it, turn it into positive energy, and basically that's huge, like healing. So a lot of us have managed to do that. Now, we obviously haven't done all of it, otherwise we wouldn't be here. We'd have passed over. We're still here to learn things. So, and I will say that when I've learned stuff, and my spirit team are now all laughing because they know that this is how I learn, I have to go through it physically. And I'm in the middle of writing my book now, and you will see, if you happen to read it, that in my younger years there was lots that I went through. And I realise now myself that I cleared a lot of dross out of myself, and I'm going through, I don't just talk about the 3D. When I say out of myself, I'm talking about through time and space, right the way down to the soul spark, in all dimensions. I have cleared out so much. But on the 3D level, if you will read in my book, I've had lots of things happen that have helped me clear all that. So often, like I said, I have to experience things to help me learn stuff. So this is on a spiritual level and a human level. Many of you are probably the same as me. You've actually got to go through it physically to learn from it. But there are many people that don't have to go through things physically. But I know that many, many light workers actually do have in their younger years a lot of trauma or fearful stuff happen. And it's all learning to help you become stronger, to release all that stuff. So back to what's going on now. The Cabal, like I said, it's not just humans that have got caught up in the darker side. There is a lot in Hollywood, in the music industry, and unfortunately a lot of the young people going into Hollywood or the music industry get sucked into it, bribed in often in ways. Perhaps, you know, gone to a party and been put in a compromising situation which they know they shouldn't have got into, but it's just like they've been swept along and they've been filmed or pictures taken, and now they're being bribed and things like that. There are also people in other walks of life like that have got sucked into this. I believe all humans are born in the light, but babies are, the soul that enters the baby's body is pure light. That's my belief. And it's only things that have happened, if they haven't been strong enough to stand in their own power and their own presence, then it's things that have happened through as they've been growing up that can sway them to go either to the dark or to the light. Again, this is only my belief system. For me personally, I know through different things that have happened to me that I've been looked after. So I was born into this body already with I don't know whether it's a protective shield or a team that are protecting me or what, but I know through different things that have happened to me and circumstances that I've been in that I'm really being looked after. And it might be for the work that I'm doing or the work that I'm yet to do. So back to the Cabal. Yes, it's people in the 3D, so in the flesh form. There are people or beings in other dimensions that are also working for the dark. There are also many things that are going on, like the government, behind the government, if you like. The Black Ops, I suppose they're called. Or the Black Hats, maybe. Some people call them the Black Hats. They have also got technology that can affect people. So mind control and other things that are going on. I'm going to get to the light side in a minute. So I'm just rolling off what the Cabal are doing. And they're, at this moment in time, they are pushing stuff to happen in the 3D world because they know they're losing. I want to say this, and I want to keep you to remember this. They are actually losing. So that poor chap, Floyd, that got killed by that cop, I think it's disgraceful that it took riots for that cop to be taken to justice for that. I think that's disgraceful. No matter who was killed, if it was a policeman doing it, he should be punished. And I do know of instances in my past where policemen have done something they shouldn't have, somebody has got hurt by it, and they've got away with it. I know that personally. So it happens. But this should not have happened. It should not have taken riots to actually get that policeman to justice. So that in itself says there is a huge failure in the justice system. Certainly in America, I presume it's similar in the UK in some aspects. I'm not sure about here in New Zealand. I think New Zealand's got a really good police force, and I think a lot of the police that are in the police force anywhere, I've even got a family member who's in the police force, that there are genuine people in the police force that are working for the light, definitely. But there are some that have been sucked down that path into the dark. And that's through their own choices and things that have unfolded for them and just how they have been. They might not have worked on themselves at all. They might not, depending on how they've been brought up, they might be very hard people and not opened up their hearts in any way. It could be all sorts of different things. So yeah, there's many people that have gone down that pathway that are in the flesh, that are humans, but there is a lot of things going on in the ethers which are not human, and like I said, it really is a spiritual war. Now, what the dark side want to do is completely disrupt human society. They want us all to go into fear. So what did the COVID-19 do? Cause us well, a lot of us, to go into fear. The riots have caused a lot of people to go into fear. The Black Lives Matter. There's a lot of people in fear, both black and white. You know, all different ethnicities that have caused to go into fear. Now, what is important to rise above this, because remember, the light is winning. There are many, many people like me that are doing the light work. Often we're not doing it out in public, we're doing it behind the scenes. Whenever we come across something that needs working on, we'll do it. Even in our dream state, we do it. Like last night, I had a dream about... in my dream, it was like a zombie apocalypse scenario. There were them and us. So it was a bit like the dark and the light. And even though it kind of was similar to a zombie apocalypse, the zombies in my dream didn't look like zombies. They looked like other humans. And then there was a lot of us that were light workers that had to maneuver a little bit under the radar away from these zombies in my dream, so we could get through and actually really get our light in there and start changing things. So that can be a sign of what's happening. There's a lot of us light workers that are working away in the background. We're doing what we can. We're sending light out there. We're backing the right people. By the way, I know there's a lot of people that don't like Trump, but actually he's working for the light. I had a dream about him the other day. Actually, it was more like a daydream in my meditation the other day, that I saw Trump with his normal head as an adult, as what he looks like now, but his body was a baby in a romper suit. So he was in a blue and white stripy romper suit in a baby's body, but he had two heads. And they both looked exactly the same. Behind him were these other figures, but they kind of melded into one big figure that was dressed in this lovely suit, actually. So what that tells me is that Trump is the figurehead. There is a lot of people that are backing Trump, but there are a certain amount of white hats that are backing Trump. He's doing the right thing. And I know it can appear like he's doing some really not nice things, but actually there's a lot more going on behind the scenes of what you're seeing. It's almost like he wants people to not like him because it's taking the onus away of the good stuff that he's doing. So he is definitely doing what he can to stop human trafficking. And if you didn't know, that is one of the largest money-making things that's happening on this planet right now. Trafficking women, men, children. He's doing what he can to stop that. A lot of that, of course, involves sexual abuse, underage sexual abuse, and all sorts of other really horrible things that are going on with the children. If you didn't know, you can look up the statistics that there are thousands and hundreds of thousands of children going missing every year in most countries. Trafficking is a huge business. So he is doing everything he can to stop that. And good for him. That needs to be stopped. All this paedophilia that's going out, that is slowly being taken down. You'll see that paedophilia rings all around the world are being busted. And people are being brought to justice for that. So going back to you as an individual, whether you're a light worker or whether you're not, the best way to raise above what is unfolding in the 3D world, what we're seeing on the news and all the drama that's going on around the planet, the best way is to become fully into your own sovereign being. So the only attachments you have to anything is yourself and your own soul, your own beautiful heart. Once you become fully sovereign within your own being, you're fully in control of yourself. You don't want to control anything else. Then this is the start of raising your beautiful frequency. So opening your heart, and to make a difference, if you want to make a difference, all you need to do is open your heart, shine your light out, stand in your own power, stand in your own sovereignty. And when you see all this stuff, maybe you watch the news or you watch things online or however you do it, and you see all this stuff unfolding, by all means watch it, but don't get emotionally attached. Once you've raised your frequency up and you've become purely that sovereign being, there is no attachment to anything else, anything or anyone. You are your own soul, your sovereign being, in this collective of many other beings. As soon as you give your power and your energy by losing your sovereignty, getting emotionally involved with something that's going on, you've lowered your frequency, you're giving your energy away, and you're also allowing the energy of whatever it is you're becoming attached to seep into your energy field, your energy body, or your blueprint. All of this will affect you. So I watch what's going on. I've been watching it for weeks. I do not allow it to affect me. I rise above it. You know, when I was a kid, I remember being bullied. I remember coming home and saying to my parents, oh, you know, so-and-so's keeping on at me, or something's happening at school. And my mum and dad would say, you need to rise above it. Don't allow this thing to affect you. Obviously, if it's just words, then it doesn't need to affect you. If it's a physical thing, that's a little bit different. But if it's words and things going on, rise above it. Step up within yourself. If you like, there's some techniques that I can give you to help you do that. So when you're watching this thing, you're not watching it as yourself. Pretend you're a fly on the wall out here and you're looking down at everything unfolding from a distance. That way you're not going to get attached. You've removed the emotion from it because you're this thing that's just looking down from the top, looking at everything unfolding. No attachment, no emotion, just watching. Because what's unfolding is an illusion. Yes, it may be real to some people, but actually in the multidimensional aspect of things, it's an illusion. Remember what I said before? There's so much more going on. Even though we're seeing this on the outside, there is so much more going on a spiritual level, on an energy level, and even on a human level. Now, a lot of the people that are reacting to the events that are unfolding around the world still have a lot of healing to do. So if you find yourself reacting, the best thing you can do is to go back within yourself and say, why is that causing me to feel like that? What is it that's deep within inside of me that is causing me to react to that? What can I learn from this? Is there something within me from a past life or from something in the past in this life that has happened to me that has made me feel these sort of emotions before? And if there is, it's time to clear it, because the reaction you're having is showing you that there's still healing that needs to be done. Again, I'm going to go back to that sovereign being. Once you're fully in your sovereign own multidimensional power, these things will not affect you. What may affect you is your nearest and dearest loved ones, depending on what's going on for them. But even then, you still need to bring yourself back in and remove yourself from the 3D, raise above, go up into your higher self, expand your consciousness, and be the observer. Even if it's your own family, be the observer, not the one that's going to give your energy. Now, this sovereignty within yourself is what's going to keep you up above, riding the wave, that light wave, riding that light wave, so you don't get sunk down into the darkness. So it's not a negative thing. It's the whole process. Remember, we're here to learn. So the whole process of working through who you are is literally taking a breath and going within yourself and, why am I reacting to any of this? We're here to heal. We're here to learn. Your soul chose to come into this lifetime at this point. And the more we can clear out the stuff from ourselves, the more we can help the light by just being open-hearted, coming back into your beautiful heart center, feeling that love, feeling that light, feeling that power within, that self-empowerment. It's not a selfish thing. It's purely that you're feeling your own soul's power. That will give you power by just doing that. I have done other videos that will help you go within and feel that light within, feel that power within, that strength within. Now, when it comes to my work, when I clear these beings off other people, I have no fear of anything from the dark side when it comes to spiritual stuff. No fear. And they know it. When I was younger, I did. It's taken me a long time to release that fear. A long time. And like I said, when I learn, I normally have to go through these learning things physically. Even on the spiritual stuff. I've been in doing house clearings, one in particular that I'm thinking of, in a certain house that used to be an ex-gang house, and there were spirits in there. And while me and another friend were doing this clearing, we had this big man with his, in spirit I'm talking, with his fist up like this. And I was just brushing him aside and ignoring him as I was walking around the house. Now this is how spirit works. So remember, spirit can also see into the future, whether they're earthbound spirits or whether they're spirits that have also gone up into what we would call heaven or into the collective. They can see ahead of time. They can see what's coming. So whether they're earthbound or not, I'm only talking about the earthbound spirits now at the moment. So the earthbound spirits, This one in particular that had his fist up, he knew that me and my friend were coming. Because while we were driving to that house, I was getting thoughts in my mind when I was driving on the motorway of driving into the central reservation. Now I knew, because I'm aware, I knew that they weren't my thoughts. They were that spirit's thoughts, because he knew that we were going to come and we were going to clear him over. And for some reason or another, probably because of his lifestyle when he was in his physical body, he was frightened to go over. There's nothing to be frightened of up there. All you're going to receive is love. He had probably learnt when he was in the physical body that he would go to hell. Now, as far as I'm aware, there's several different layers of heaven. So you would go into, and this all depends on your belief system too. If he thought he was going to go into hell, he might go into a place where he would get stuck and not be able to move up the levels. So it does depend on your belief system. When you go, when you pass. So yeah, he was trying to stop us from going. He was actually trying to cause us to have an accident. Because my friend was getting a similar thing. She was coming from another part of the country. She was getting a similar thing when she was on the motorway she was on. So, remembering that spirit can see ahead of time, this is the dark side and the light side. Can see ahead of time what's going to unfold. And believe me, there is going to be more things. Because the dark side, if they see that they're not going to win this at all, but if they see that they might be losing, they're going to create something else to happen. It's just the way it is. And it's up to us as humans not to react. Not to react to the negative dark stuff. That's not to say that we don't need to protest about things on a physical level, because that policeman that killed that poor chap needed to be punished, because that's the right thing to do. So peaceful demonstrations are a good thing. It also shows that a lot of the powers that be, that we will not stand for any of this bad stuff that's going on. So, getting back to the spirit seeing ahead of time, there are going to be other things that will unfold, but it's up to us to stay in our sovereign, multidimensional, powerful beings, rising above everything, and still keep sending that light out there, that love out there, because that's what it's all about. That's what's going to help us to win this battle. It's keeping an open heart. Don't get emotionally involved in any of those things. Every time I say keeping an open heart, even before I started this video, when I said keeping an open heart and really feeling it, my walkie-talkie, which is how ET connect with me often, will click on. So it's a little yes, keeping an open heart. It's coming from my ET guides that I'm connected to. Just saying, yes, an open heart, but feeling it. Because once your heart resonance is expanded out and you're feeling that love, you are spreading that love and light out. You don't even need to be next to anyone. You can expand your heart energy out to encompass the whole of this planet, if you like. To encompass the whole of your family. And each time you do that, you're making a difference, a huge difference, but you're also keeping yourself empowered. We are in amazing, fascinating times, and these changes that are happening need to happen, because we, the light bearers, the light workers, the light side, are going to come out on top of this situation And eventually, I don't know how long it'll take, but eventually we will live in a peaceful society where there will be no famine. Everything will be shared equally. There will be no top people. We will be equal. We will be in harmony. So let's keep picturing that future where the light has won and we're all beautiful people that are expanded in consciousness, that are now in contact with other beings from other realms, and we are living a life in a higher vibration in the 5D, the 5th dimension and beyond, because it's not going to stop at the 5th. So I realise now that I've been talking away for over 35 minutes, so I am going to leave you with that. Remember that sovereign being is so important. Don't get emotionally involved in this stuff that you're seeing. Please share this video, because I really hope that this will help people rise above what they're seeing unfolding in the world, because there is so much more going on in other levels, in other dimensions, but it still all affects the 3D, which is where we are, in this physical body. Rise above it, become that sovereign being. Do not allow anything outside of you affect you. It's not that you're not, that your emotions aren't connected, they are, but you've advanced so much, you've risen above. You're still an emotional being, you're still got that beautiful love coming from you, but you've managed to work it out within yourself by healing and going within, releasing what no longer serves you, and you've released all that baggage to the point where you are that sovereign being, and these things that are happening around the planet or around you directly will not affect you because you've risen above it. You have risen your frequency. That is not your dimension. You are in a higher dimension up here, and that's why you're not being affected by it, because you're already in the 5th dimension where everything is in harmony, and that includes within yourself. So I'm going to say much, much love from me. I really, really send this out to you all, pure love and light, out to you all. Please, please share this video. If you're new, please subscribe. I will put out different types of videos as I go along, depending on what I'm guided to do at the time. And if you would like to know more of what I do, please go to my website. That's www.ginnyjoneshealing.com. So much love coming to you guys. You're beautiful, beautiful beings of light. And I can see your souls. Allow them to shine out, dear ones. Allow them to shine out. Much love. Bye for now. Bye.